everyone, my name is Mariella, and this is my reaction to the US versus Paraguay. A free kick within like the first minute, nothing comes of it, then it's just more back and forth of people getting free kicks. The next free kick is won by the US. Bradley puts an awful ball in. Not even in, honestly, I don't think. Just an awful ball in general. Johnson had a free kick that was straight at the keeper, and then Paraguay had a free kick that Guzan was able to get to easy. But the first major thing to happen is the U.S. getting a bit of a build-up, and then they're dispossessed by Paraguay. Johnson goes in for the tackle, misses, and it's 3v1, one defender out plus Guzan. And Brooks makes literally one of the best tackles I've ever seen. It was inside the box. I almost freaked out because I thought that a Paraguayan player would have tried to flop after whatever tackle he made, but it was so good that he barely even touched the Paraguayan player. He threw all of his weight to the right at the same time, knocking the ball out of play. It was just so good. So the U.S. is getting another run, and then it's past to Dempsey, I believe, who's dispossessed, and Paraguay has a run down the side, cross it in, headed on goal, and Guzan's covering that near post really well, so he makes a save. And the next thing to happen is Dempsey is right outside the box, and he's trying to make a pass to Wood, and this pass is blocked by a handball, so resulting in the free kick that was given. Paraguay sets up a enormous wall. I'm thinking earlier today when Will was playing against like Slovakia, and the keeper just sets up a wall that's way too big, and then Gareth Bale just pounds it in. So I'm hoping Dempsey does the same thing right now. Dempsey, I think, tries to go for the shot, but it's too far wide, I believe. Then the next thing I have written down is Dempsey's goal. It's a build-up play. It gets to Zardes, who makes the run down the side. He has two defenders around him, but he was able to hold onto the ball and wait long enough for other U.S. players to come into the box, crosses it in, finds Dempsey, and Dempsey just puts that away so nicely. Maybe the keeper should have done better to get that, because it was like right under his arm and torso area. So maybe he should have done better, but nonetheless, Dempsey scored a great goal. And then a little bit after, on the other side of the pitch, Wood concedes a free kick, and then Paraguay just hit it right off the wall. Then Paraguay's getting a lot of free kicks, because, this bullshit ref. They were more understandable in the first half, so I'm not complaining too much. Throughout this, the U.S. is getting, I think, had two chances. I don't remember them specifically. I just have U.S. getting some chances. And then at the end, Loscano has a chance. I think he's running down the side, and he tries to nutmeg Guzan, but it just goes... but Guzan kept his feet together, and it just ricocheted off, and I think it went out for a corner. Then right away in the second half, Yablin gets a bullshit yellow card. Okay, so for me personally, I don't think it should be a yellow unless they didn't make a play on the ball. So if it's a late challenge, yeah, that's a yellow. But he made a play on the ball, so yeah, obviously, like, he hit the Paraguayan player, so that's obviously a foul, but that for me was not a yellow. I know there was some there's some controversy around that even among the analysts of the Fox Sports channels, but for me that's not a yellow. And then literally within a minute of this happening, he manages to get another yellow on a challenge that is deserving of a yellow card because it was late and he didn't touch the ball at all. So yeah, this results in him getting sent off. Honestly, he's one of my favorite U.S. players, so that's very upsetting to me because we can't use him against I don't know if we're going to be playing against Brazil yet or if we're going to be playing Peru or Ecuador, but it's going to be unfortunate because he's a good player. And then next, Wood has a run, and then he lays it off to Zardes, who wasn't able to get a shot away because the defender kind of like threw himself on top of the ball in such a way that it was clean, but Zardes couldn't do anything about that. Then Paraguay had a chance, but I don't remember how it came about, but I do remember the shot. It was going to the far post, and then it took a deflection, I believe, off one of the U.S. defenders, and went wide. And then next, Wood gets the ball around two defenders, and then he gets fouled, but he doesn't get the call, which is bullshit. Freaking South American ref, the U.S. against a South American team. So for me, that's just like this ref's bias 100%. Like after that was 100% a foul. Like I'm not saying it was a card or anything. 100% a foul though. But at this point, the ref's karma is kind of getting to him because he injures himself. I'm not quite sure how it happened. I think my dad said that Jones hit him, but I wish a new ref had come on because this ref was bullshit. I Snapchatted quite a few of my friends saying with the exact words, "This ref sucks ass," because he did. So Paraguay is getting more of the chances, and that's happening partially because Every time there's even the slightest touch by a US player on a Paraguayan player, he called the free kick. I'm not saying all of them should not have been free kicks, but some of them weren't fouls even. They just, sometimes the player flopped, sometimes he barely touched it. Literally, this ref pissed me off so much. Okay, and then the next thing happened. Guzan makes 2 great consecutive saves after some good work from Brooks, who manages to get his hand away from the ball so that it didn't touch it. And even though it goes right back to a Paraguayan player, he gets right back up and he deflects it out, I believe. But that was just a really good play on his part, getting those saves. And then later on, Paraguay has a free kick over the bar, don't recall. Okay, so next thing after Beckerman comes on, Zardes gets a run, and the ball's passed around a bit before it finally ends up at Beckerman, who takes a shot which goes high and wide, I believe. But it was a good effort. It was a good effort because it was shot from distance. And then next, off a set piece, I believe, Paraguay puts the ball in the back of the net. But thank God it was offside. I screamed in excitement when I saw it was offside. Paraguay has a chance, but I don't recall what it was. Then the next thing, and the last thing I have written here, is that one player tries to draw a pen, but for once, the ref actually called shit correctly and didn't give it. I personally can't decide who the man of the match is, in my opinion. Like, I can't decide if it's Brooks or Guzan, because they both played so well. I know that Brooks got awarded man of the match by Budweiser, but I literally cannot figure out who deserved it more, honestly. Guzan, since he didn't win it, definitely 100% an honorable mention, because he was so good. As Fernando Fiore said, he is the second man of the match. I personally don't know if either of them were better than the other. But this was a really entertaining game. Thankfully, the US came out with the result. We're going through the quarterfinals. So yeah, that's all for today. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!